If you're wondering why I have a completely different shirt on than I do in the thumbnail, it's because right before I was about to start recording, I spilled something on my shirt. You're not crazy. They're just not spiritual enough. And the reason why I have to say enough is because I think everybody's spiritual to some extent, just for the simple fact that essentially we are all spiritual beings living in physical bodies. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people are disconnected from their spirit due to many distractions of the world, due to negative programming, due to believing in man and statistics and analytics more than they believe in the Most High. Now, let's break down the word spiritual. Spiritual derives from the word spirit, and spirit comes from the Latin word for breath, which means the thing that animates life. Spiritual can be used to talk about anything that goes beyond the mere physical existence. Now, the problem is a lot of people only believe in the physical realm, or they believe in the physical more than the spiritual. When you start talking about the unseen to people who only believe in the physical, they're going to call you crazy. That's because they only believe things they can see with their human eyes. So let's get into this word crazy. People don't realize there's two definitions to the word crazy. One definition is mentally unstable. The other definition is out of the ordinary. So when people call me crazy, I take it as a compliment because yes, I am very out of the ordinary, but I'm not mentally unstable. Now let's be clear. There are people who are mentally unstable that hide behind religion and spirituality, which gives people who are not believers a negative perception. Even though I am talking very passionately, I don't judge people who think like that because I used to be the same way. I've always believed in the spiritual realm to some extent, but I definitely believe in the physical realm more than the spiritual realm because my faith was weak. And the reason why my faith was weak, because of negative programming. Even though essentially we are spiritual beings, while we're here in human form, we are also emotional computers. When you're not mindful of what you feed into, that slowly starts to disconnect you from your spirit because you're too busy with all these entertaining distractions. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I used to feed into a lot of garbage. Reality TV, celebrity gossip, even average people gossip, even just keeping up with people's lives on social media. All these things disconnected me from my spirit. I was drinking a lot, I was partying a lot, I was also having a lot of sex with different men. All these things disconnected me from my spirit. I was trapped in my ego because I was just doing what I wanted to do. I thought I was free. I thought I was liberated. But really, I was just seeking pleasure because I was empty. But even though I was lost, I've always had this sense of conviction. I've always knew right from wrong. But I was so damaged that I thought my joy and wholeness came from seeking pleasure. But later on, I found out it only comes from seeking God. I had a very troubling childhood. And once I got older, sex and alcohol, those were my two vices that I used as an escape. I really used to hate myself, and I used to heavily rely on validation from men to make me feel whole or to make me feel worthy. If you have that same story, I'm just here to tell you, you've always been worthy. Even when you didn't see it, you've always been worthy. But it's up to you to seek God so God can help you see your worth and live up to it. I would say from the age of 25 to 27, I started making slow progress. I wasn't busting it open as much. As a matter of fact, I think from 25 to 27, from 25 till a few months ago, I've been in, monogamous relationships. But I would say I started making slow progress between the ages of 25 to 27. But once my brother passed away in 2020, that really started the healing process because I didn't even realize there was so many things from my childhood that I needed to heal from. There were so many things in my childhood that I kind of forgot about. Like, I guess they were just hidden in my subconscious. His suicide opened up all that. I was in a relationship at that time. And the more I healed, the more I realized I cannot be with this man. This is not the man that I'm supposed to be with. This is not the man God has for me. But I felt trapped because, we lived together. It was, a lot of different attachments. And I'm a very empathetic person. So I'm like, damn, I don't, just want to leave this person hanging. There was finally a tower moment where I was like, no more, no more. I'm putting myself first. Yes, I do have empathy for you, but I got to have empathy for myself and I have to walk away from this relationship. Once I ended that relationship and, that person moved out and, went their own way, that really catapulted me into a completely different, I don't even know what to call it, but I went through a really, really, really intense spiritual metamorphosis. And I'm still going through it now. I really tested my faith like never before. In that moment, I had the free will to choose if I was going to self destruct or if I was going to reconstruct. And I chose to reconstruct because I was fed up. I was tired of being a victim. I mean, for the last 6 months, I've been doing a lot of inner work and spiritual work every single day. And it's not only made my faith stronger than it's ever been, but it's given me a peace and joy that I've never felt before. And most importantly, I feel like every single day, God is guiding me, God is directing me. Now, let me tell y'all something. You have to be very careful about what you share with people who only or mostly believe in the physical because their lack of faith could plant seeds of doubt in your mind and make you question your faith. I had to learn that the hard way. Another thing I had to learn was not to just trust or judge people based on the surface. Just because somebody's a preacher, don't mean they godly. Just because somebody a preacher doesn't mean they really holy. Believe it or not, it's some people that appear godly that are secretly working for the devil. Just like I'm not going to judge somebody if they're a tarot reader or whatever. I'm going to go off of how I feel in my spirit. I'm not going to go off what I was programmed to believe. I'm really going to sit with my spirit and ask myself, does this sit right with my spirit? If it does, I'm going to trust that. If it doesn't, I'm going to walk away. There's literally a scripture that says, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit to discern if it's from God. A lot of people don't do that. They just go off of rules and what I was taught and what I was programmed to believe. And the reason why a lot of people don't do that is because they're disconnected from their spirit. So they don't even know how to listen to their spirit or their intuition. There's a lot of people who are religious, but they're not spiritual because they focus more on rules than relationship. And that's the reason why those type of people, they lead and teach with fear, not love. In my humble opinion, with all due respect, anybody who's teaching with fear, anybody who's instilling fear in people, that's not godly because God is love. That's all I have for you guys today. Feel free to share a supernatural or spiritual occurrence you've had that transformed your life. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.